Here's something strange. Even people who skip lunch often hit the same afternoon energy crash. So if food isn't the whole story, what is your body actually reacting to? Turns out your brain has a built-in clock that quietly lowers your alertness every single afternoon, and lunch just makes that dip feel even stronger. Most people assume the afternoon crash is entirely about what they ate. Too much pasta, too much bread, a food coma, case closed. So they change their lunch order, cut carbs, switch to a salad, and the fog still shows up anyway. Lighter maybe, but still there. Same time, same desk, same glazed over stare at the same email. That's the part that doesn't add up. If it were purely about food, fixing the food should erase the crash completely. It doesn't. Which means part of the explanation is running on a schedule your fork doesn't fully control. Here's what's actually driving it. Your body runs on an internal clock, the same system that controls when you feel awake in the morning and sleepy at night. That clock has a built-in dip in alertness in the early afternoon, hardwired in, whether or not you eat a single bite. Food adds to it, and here's how. After a meal, especially one high in refined carbohydrates, insulin changes the balance of amino acids in your blood. That makes it easier for tryptophan to reach your brain, where it's used to produce serotonin and later melatonin. Combined with your body's natural afternoon dip, that can leave you feeling much sleepier. So your lunch isn't the source of the crash. It's more like gasoline poured on a fire your internal clock already lit. Hey Alex, he's cut carbs, switched to grilled chicken and greens, even started skipping lunch some days to test it. The crash gets a little lighter, but it never fully disappears. 1:45 rolls around and his eyes start doing that slow blink thing where he reads the same line of an email 4 times and still couldn't tell you what it said. He assumes he's just failing at eating right. What he doesn't realize is that 1:45 was always going to be rough for him, whether he ate a salad, a feast, or nothing at all, because his body picked that time slot long before lunch ever entered the picture. Here's the part that actually explains why. Around the same window your energy dips, your core body temperature drops slightly, and so does your cortisol, the hormone that helps keep you feeling alert. That combination is a big part of what makes you feel sluggish, running on a schedule set by your circadian rhythm. And here's the surprising part. Cultures all over the world, completely independent of each other, developed afternoon rest periods long before offices, alarm clocks, or lunch breaks even existed. Spain has its siesta. China has its midday rest culture. Parts of the Mediterranean and Latin America have their own versions, all landing in that same early afternoon window. That's not a coincidence, and it's not about any one culture. It's biology showing up in different societies, independently, over and over again. So what do you actually do with this? Stop treating your lunch order as the only fix, and start treating the window itself as the thing to plan around. If you know your dip lands around 1:30 or 2:00, put your hardest task before it, not after it. Keep your midday meal lighter and more balanced, with protein and vegetables instead of a mountain of refined carbs, so you're not pouring extra fuel onto a dip that was already coming. And if you can, use that window for something low stakes, a short walk, email cleanup, or anything that doesn't need your sharpest thinking. You're not beating your biology. You're aiming it at the right target instead of fighting it blindly. The crash isn't a verdict on your willpower or your lunch choices. It's your circadian rhythm creating a natural dip in alertness, the same internal clock that also helps regulate your sleep at night. Your meal simply influences how noticeable that dip feels. Once you see it as a clock instead of a failure, the whole afternoon stops feeling like a mystery you're losing. Your afternoon crash isn't your body failing you. It's your brain following a schedule that's been running every single day of your life. Once you know when your energy naturally rises and falls, you stop working against your biology and start using it to your advantage.